Hi my lovely people, welcome back to my channel to another fragrance video. In this video, I'm going to talk about my entire Maison Francis Kurkdjian collection. I have quite a few in my collection, including of course the very famous Maison Francis Kurkdjian Baccarat Rouge 540 and Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum. I will do a proper comparison of the Baccarat Rouge 540, the Eau de Parfum, and Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum. And I have a killer layering combination that I recently discovered that I cannot wait to share with you guys. And of course, I will talk to you guys about the rest of my Maison Francis Kurkdjian collection as well. So if you want to hear all about my entire Maison Francis Kurkdjian collection, just keep watching. So of course, I'm going to start with undoubtedly the most famous Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrance. It is none other than Baccarat Rouge 540. This is the Eau de Parfum version. This was the original. Oh, I gotta say, you guys, this fragrance really kind of revolutionized the fragrance world, I would say. Before this fragrance, there was nothing quite like this anywhere. And I read somewhere that there are 3,000 plus dupes for this fragrance because it's that popular. Why, you ask? Because it was nothing like what was on the market at the time this fragrance came out. I mean, to this day, this still remains quite unique. This fragrance is kind of sweet-ish, but not really. It's not a gourmand, but has a slight gourmand element to it. It's not your typical floral fragrance. It is not a fresh fragrance per se. It just really didn't fit any box. So you guys, Baccarat Rouge 540 has ambroxan, which is responsible for a lot of the unique scent that this is. Of course, the whole composition contributes to it, but ambroxan is what replaced ambergris. Ambergris came from, you know, the sperm whale, the gut of the sperm whale, and had this sort of woody and mineral facets, you know, aspects to it, you know, like minerally kind of marine, you know, aspect to it, and then also very kind of woody smelling. So ambroxan is similar to it. It has that same kind of strong woody scent with the mineral aspects to it. So it's basically an amber wood, you know, that's what we call an amber wood. So that's what's in here, ambroxan, and that really contributes, and there's a lot of ambroxan in here. I think that contributes to the lingering sillage of this fragrance, and it's Extrait de Parfum, which is super potent, by the way. I will get to that here in a second. So that lingering sillage, that projection, that really comes from the large dose of ambroxan, in my opinion, because that's really what you smell, you know, on the dry down especially, and that's what lingers the most out of all the olfactory notes in this fragrance. This has other fragrance notes like Hedion, which is like a floral, a white floral that smells a little bit like jasmine, but a little bit more, smells a little bit more fresh with a little bit of a citrus aspect to it. So that's in here. So there is a floral element in here. I'm sure maybe there are other similar type of very, you know, subtle floral notes in here, but that's really, you know, really very complementary to notes like ambroxan that's in here. And this also has a little bit of a conifer vibe. By conifer, I mean, you know, like those evergreen notes, you know, things like fir or, you know, other evergreen notes that you get. Those type of conifer notes, you know. And adding to that ambroxan woodiness, there's other woody notes like cedar, Virginia cedar in particular, I believe that this has. And then there is that saffron in here. You all know what saffron smells like, perhaps not all of you. it really is a note that would really blend well with ambroxan, that sort of notes, you know, with the amberiness, with the woodiness, you know. So I can see how that all blends so well together to get this beautiful scent. Yeah, so amber woods, there are amber woods in this fragrance, like ambroxan and maybe other amber woods in here. So the amber woods play a central part in the way this fragrance smells, and it contributes to that lingering sillage that we all know about. This one is quite, I don't want to use the word strong. It doesn't smell strong like up your nose kind of strong, but rather like enduring, lasting sillage that you keep getting whiffs of throughout the day. That's what I mean by strong. So that's what Baccarat Rouge 540 is, and that's why people love this scent. A lot of people say that there's a sort of a gourmet element to this with that burnt sugar smell. I know what they're trying to say, but it doesn't exactly smell like burnt sugar either. I get the idea that it's not sweet, but sort of smells like something that's sweet, you know, but it's not really sweet. So yeah, I would say this is a very ambery, woody, amber woody fragrance. It's actually an amber floral. I believe that's the category this falls under. You know, the official categories that there are. So yeah, it's ambery, it's woody, it's slightly floral, but it's very faint. The floral aspect, very faint. And then also this has a little bit of a fresh vibe to it in a more conifer way. Then there's that conifer aspect to this. So yeah, it's quite the unique composition. And some people also say that when they wear this fragrance, it sort of does this disappearing act where it's kind of like a Houdini, where one moment you smell it on you, but next moment you don't, and it kind of comes and goes, like you get whiffs of it, and one moment you don't even smell yourself wearing it, all of a sudden you get this huge whiff of it, right? That sort of fragrance. But I tell you what, even if you didn't smell this fragrance on yourself, others are smelling you strongly. Let me tell you, yes, others smell you very much. This is a compliment getter. I will get to the other one that's also a huge compliment getter. This is one of those fragrances with that strong, lingering sillage that you get whiffs of throughout the day, and it lasts forever. You know, wear it in the morning, you'll get whiffs of it until the nighttime, and your clothes will smell like it even after you wash them. Actually, I will get to the Extrait de Parfum, especially when I spray this on and I shower. I can sometimes smell it after showering. I get whiffs of it even after showering. It's how strong this fragrance is, especially the Extrait de Parfum version. So yeah, this is Baccarat Rouge 540, the Eau de Parfum version. Now let me get to the Extrait de Parfum. I actually just bought a brand new one. So I actually just got this. So this is what it looks like. This is the typical packaging, of course. And this, I had a bottle, I went through it. I used it all up. So I had to get a new one, you guys. This is actually my favorite out of the two. I prefer the Extrait de Parfum more than the original, although I love both of them very, very much. This one, however, to me, smells so good. This is a little bit, if you can use the word sweeter, slightly sweeter than the original, although still this is not very like super sweet or anything like that. This one to me smells slightly, teeny bit sweeter, and this one has a little bit more of a gourmet touch to it. I smell a little bit of a slight almondiness, very faint though, that is you know, kind of nutty, you know, a little bit. So I feel like maybe there is something like that in here, but the main notes are ambroxan there again, just like the original. You know what it smells like? It's an amber wood. It's very kind of woody, mineral, strong, lingering fragrance note. This has it as well. This also has cedar, just like the original. So adding to that woodiness, both have cedar and ambroxan. And they both also have saffron with that unique, you know, saffron scent. Now, this, however, has a few notes different from the original. This one does not, to my nose, have that conifer vibe that the original has. So this probably doesn't have any like fir or evergreen type notes at all. This one, instead of Hedion, this one has Egyptian jasmine. So it's a little bit more like white florally jasmine, you know, note in here that adds to more, like heightens the floral facet, the aspect of this fragrance a little bit more. Because Hedion is a white floral like jasmine, but has like a citrus aspect to it, whereas jasmine is jasmine, you know, super beautiful white floral. So this has jasmine instead of Hedion, and this also has cashmere. So cashmere is a synthetic fragrance note that, you know, has woody aspects, like it's like a smells woody, but it also has a little bit of a muskiness about it. So it's a cashmere or cashmere wood. It's also called cashmere wood. Has that woodiness of like a woody fragrance note like cedar, but has a musky element to it. So if you can imagine that. So this also has cashmere, which obviously is a perfect match with ambroxan, which has that woody aspect with the mineral aspect, you know. So you can see how the fragrance notes were very well thought out and combined instead of just throwing just any kind of notes in here. So those are the notes in this fragrance, and it's different from the original Baccarat Rouge 540. Now, if you ask me which one is stronger, honestly, it feels like the Extrait de Parfum smells stronger, but sometimes the original surprises me with being a little bit more kind of lasting with the sillage and projection as far as people's ability to smell you than this one. I feel like people can smell the original on me more than this one on me, but they smell both, absolutely both. But I feel like sometimes, even though this smells like it's stronger, this one performs better, if that's even fathomable, you know what I'm saying? So that's the proper comparison that I wanted to do for you all, so you can actually know the differences between these two fragrances and actually know more about the notes, you know, instead of just just a random bunch of thoughts. I wanted to do some research, and also from my experience of wearing these two fragrances. I mean, I obviously love this one so much that I went through a whole bottle, but I love this one too. Because I was wearing this one so much, I didn't wear this as much, but I have worn this quite a few. And by the way, you don't have to overspray this. People can smell you. I'm telling you, one spray, they can smell you. For example, you can smell both of them after a shower on yourself. I can smell both of them after a shower on myself. Like, for example, when this arrived, my second bottle, I sprayed it on me and I took a shower after a few hours. I was still getting whiffs. I mean, seriously. It's that ambroxan with the other, similar complementary notes that are in here. If you can add them to your collection, you should. These are very pricey fragrances. Each bottle is like $435 or something like that. It's about $400 each of them. So they are not cheap, but if you can, spend the money, you should definitely add one or both of these to your collection. So hopefully my review and my comparison helped you decide which one of the two you want in your collection. By the way, I have a discount code for you guys, a 10% discount code, Cleo10, to use on Twisted Lily to buy any of these Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrances that I'm talking about today. You can buy any of these or any other Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrance, or a lot of the other really nice rare niche fragrances on Twisted Lily. Take advantage of that discount code, because these Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrances, they are not sold on discount websites for discounted prices at all. In fact, on discount websites, they tend to be more expensive for some reason. Must have something to do with the distribution of these fragrances. So yeah, very rarely would you ever get a discount for Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrances. So take advantage of it. My code is active throughout the year, all year round, all the time. And Mother's Day is coming up, so yeah, if you want to get any of these, you can certainly take advantage of it. I will link every fragrance down in the description box, and I'll put my discount code down there as well. And by the way, these also come in a 35 ml size, like the smaller bottles. So if you don't want to commit to a bottle as big as this, I think this is like the 50 ml, or is it 75 ml? This is like the medium size. These also come in the large bottle. I believe that's like the 100 ml. So yeah, they have all three sizes on Twisted Lily. You can get the smaller 35 ml ones if you want to test them out, or you know, just have them for special occasions and you don't want to commit to a larger bottle or want to buy or spend that kind of money. Then you can get the 35 ml ones. I'll link all that stuff down in the description box. So yeah. And now for the best part of it. I have a perfect layering combo for both of these fragrances for you guys. Oh my Lord. Whew, you ready? It is Sol de Janeiro Beija Flor Elasti Cream. Oh my goodness. This is Sol de Janeiro's latest body cream. You guys know I'm obsessed with Sol de Janeiro body creams. They are so good. Everybody knows about the Boom Boom cream. It's actually pronounced Boom Boom. I keep saying Bum Bum too. It's hard to now change it to Boom Boom because we all started calling it Bum Bum when it first came out. Anyway, this is their latest creation body cream. Let me get this opened. This one, you guys, this cream right here, oh my God, smells a little bit like Baccarat Rouge. I'm not kidding. And I heard that that was their intention, or at least that's what it turned out to be, you know. This body cream, I will show you. You put it on, and it's, by the way, very hydrating. This body cream has like squalene, you know, retinol in here, so it's gonna really like improve your skin texture and all that. You know, Sol de Janeiro tends to do that with their body creams. They put like fruit AHAs, BHAs, like the one Baume Dia Bright cream that they have, which actually is really nice with fruity fragrances. Although I don't usually recommend, you know, scented cream with fragrances, you guys. I do recommend Sol de Janeiro ones with certain fragrances, like this one with the Baccarat Rouge, you know. This cream is not going to compete with your Baccarat Rouge fragrances because, I tell you, it is a match made in heaven. When I first bought this cream, you could see my reaction. Like, I first smelled it in my Sephora VIB sale haul part 1, my massive epic Sephora VIB sale haul part 1. I will link it up here and down in the description box. Also check out the part 2 of the Sephora sale too. I uploaded that as well. You could see on camera my reaction. I smelled it. I'm like, what does this smell like? I have a fragrance that smells like this in my collection. What is it? But I couldn't put my finger on it. Because you guys, I have like 400 plus fragrances in my collection, you know, and I forget. Sometimes I get my scents mixed up in my head, so I couldn't recall it right away. But I realized later, and some of you actually commented down below on that, in the comment section on that video, saying the same thing. It's supposed to be smelling like Baccarat Rouge 540. And of course, you know, if that works, then all the other dupes, like what's that one dupe, the Burberry Her, you know, it'll go with pretty much all of those fragrances. The scent in here is very subtle, And it smells very much like the Baccarat Rouge 540 fragrances. Both of them. I think it goes even better with the Extrait de Parfum, honestly. So let me, on this hand, I'm going to actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the cream and I'm going to spray my Extrait de Parfum right onto the fragrance, and I'm going to kind of mix it together, and then I'm going to apply it to my hand here, and I'll actually put the rest on this arm now that I already smell the other arm. That's a match made in heaven. Honestly, this is a nice layering combo. This scent of this cream is subtle enough, but it smells very kind of similar to the Baccarat Rouge 540 fragrances that it would not compete with the scent of them, you know? So this is like a perfect combination, layering combination. And you can mix all three of them, by the way. If you want the qualities of the original with the qualities of this one, I actually love to do that. I like to mix these two together and then, you know, apply it with that cream, which works so well. It's the perfect layering combination. So if you want like a body cream that works with these two fragrances, then use that. I will say though, however, you know, sometimes it is nice to just wear the fragrances on your bare skin, which helps with actually projection too, believe it or not. And that's what perfumers recommend. They don't recommend you combine your fragrances with body creams, but we like to do that because we love the luxury experience, you know what I mean? We like to be well hydrated, and we like to combine our fragrances with body creams, which I completely understand, because you know, I like to feel that kind of like, you know, luxury feeling as well. What I like to do is I like to spray the fragrances on my bare skin on spots like behind my ears, the back of my neck, you know, pulse points like that. Just the fragrance without, of course, anything underneath of it. So then you get the benefit of the projection, right? And I also like to mix the fragrances with the body creams or spray on top of it, you know, on my arms, you know, where I want to hydrate my arms, my legs, areas like that. By the way, you should spray fragrances on the back of your knee. That's another nice pulse point that helps kind of get that sillage going, you know. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. The Baccarat Rouge 540 Original and the Extrait de Parfum, the differences between the two of them. So I would say they're pretty equal at the end of the day. The Extrait is not necessarily stronger. Yes, it smells like it might be stronger, but not exactly. Both of them are very much unisex fragrances. They smell great on women. They smell great on men. I would say 50-50, right down in the middle. So now for the other ones that I have that are also quite popular. I would say what I have in my collection are probably the most popular Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrances. So the next one is one of my ride or die fragrances for life. This one I don't think I could ever be without. You all know this one is one of my die-hard loves. This is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Satin Mood Extrait de Parfum. I have the Extrait version, which I highly recommend over the original because this one is even more super strong. This one I can smell here. Really. This is a super beautiful, super strong, gorgeous, unique rose oud fragrance. It's really what it is. So this fragrance has two rose notes. One of them is rose centifolia, or May rose as some may call it. It is a very expensive rose oil because May rose or rose centifolia, it is a variety of rose found in Grasse, France, and it only blooms once a year. It's very rare and therefore expensive. And it smells very delicate. It's this beautiful rose that has like a lot of overlapping petals. And then this also has Damascena rose, which usually tends to be combined with rose centifolia. So it's very beautiful, delicate kind of rose, you know, kind of like Taif rose, which is also kind of delicate, you know, and kind of really goes well with oriental fragrance compositions. So Damascena rose, I think it's also called damask rose. So that one has like apparently these like sort of honeyed aspects to it, and it's a little bit, if you can fathom it, kind of spicy, you know, kind of scent. So that's where the appeal is in Rose Damascena. So those two roses together, I can see why they are perfect for this very oriental scent here. This is a very, very oriental smelling fragrance, because usually rose oud combination smells super oriental. So oud smells a little bit like a combination of little bit leathery, musky, woody, you know, a little bit honeyed kind of scent that oud has. And oud comes from this like wood fungal infection that happens on agar wood, you know, that's in South Asia, and it's a rare wood and rare thing to find, which is why oud is very expensive. So that's what oud is. Oh, it's a little bit smoky too, by the way. So that sort of smoky, leathery, you know, kind of honeyed scent of oud with that delicate rose, and then the other rose that is also a little honeyed and little spicy. Together they create this gorgeous oriental scent. And this also has that beautiful, delicate, powdery violet, which adds this sort of sophistication to this fragrance, touch of class, I should say. Very kind of delicate floral, powdery floral violet that adds a beautiful touch to this fragrance. You know, so violet actually is, believe it or not, a synthetic note, because it's apparently really difficult to extract the violet scent from the flowers, and it has this sort of powdery facet that blends really well with rose notes. So that's why it's a perfect match made in heaven, you know. And this also has geranium. By the way, geranium is another flower that's often paired with rose notes, because they kind of come as a set a lot of the time. You get rose and you get geranium together because they complement each other very, very well. So geranium is generally not a very like floral kind of floral, you know. It's not like flowery smelling. I believe it smells a little bit like fresh, you know, and it really goes well combined with rose, from what I understand. It's not a very like a feminine floral note, is what I'm saying. One other thing, this has Ceylon cinnamon. Oh my goodness, you guys, Ceylon cinnamon. Ceylon Cleo, my channel name, because Ceylon is Sri Lanka. It's cinnamon that comes from Sri Lanka, and it is the highest quality cinnamon there is. You guys know there are two types of cinnamon, right? The cinnamon that you get, like the cinnamon bark you get here, that thick bark, that's not really cinnamon, by the way. The actual cinnamon is the Ceylon cinnamon. It's very different. It's much thinner. So that's in this fragrance, giving that beautiful, warm, spicy touch to this fragrance, really heightening all those gorgeous florals, and the oud just really elevates the rest of the fragrance notes, in my opinion. This is such a beautiful, bit of a dark, sultry fragrance that makes me feel super sexy in a very kind of badass way, you know, if that's it. I feel like that's the best way to put it. It has a bit of a, you know, like the Black Magic Woman type of vibes about it, which is what I love about this fragrance. This is also available on Twisted Lily. This you know, this and the original, this is the Extrait, the original is available too. And I noticed that they had an oud discovery set, you know, which has oud silk mood, oud satin mood, and a bunch of other oud fragrances that Maison Francis Kurkdjian has, which would be really one nice thing to have too, if you want to like test out all the Maison Francis Kurkdjian oud fragrances first before you commit to one. So yeah, I noticed that on Twisted Lily as well. And on Twisted Lily, they have the Oud Satin Mood body oil, you guys. I'm definitely going to buy that one for sure from Twisted Lily, because a body oil to go with this Oud Satin Mood Extrait de Parfum would be killer. I really like combining oils with fragrances rather than body creams because it works so much more and so much better. I'll always have this in my collection. Absolutely love the vibe it gives me. This is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Satin Mood Extrait de Parfum. So I have in my hands the best amber fragrance I have ever smelled. This is amber through and through. It's gorgeous. It smells amazing. Super ambery, super nice. It's an amber resinous but sweet kind of fragrance. This one is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Grand Soir. This one, you guys, I was dreaming about this fragrance before I received this from Twisted Lily. I really wanted this one. This smells so good. It's such a beautiful amber vanilla fragrance. So there's amber in here, which amber is basically I believe an artificial or a synthetic fragrance note that actually combines amber accord with vanilla accord. It's kind of like a vanillic amber, you know, it's like artificially created. It has nothing to do with amber, the amber stone. It has nothing to do with ambergris, which is a different thing. Ambergris smells like a little bit like marine, kind of, you know, mineral aspects to that. It has nothing to do with that either. So amber that you get in perfumes is this amber that has a little bit of vanilla mixed in. So this one has a lot of that amber vanilla scent. That's the most dominant two accords in this fragrance. But of course, contributing to that vanilla scent is this beautiful tonka bean. I believe it's from you know, Venezuela and Brazil, the tonka bean that's in here. The beautiful, gorgeous, deep vanilla scent you get from tonka bean really complements that sort of amber vanilla-ness in the amber note itself. Really works well together. Tonka beans tend to be a little bit, you know, kind of smoky as well, which kind of like a smoky vanilla, you know. So it's so beautiful in here with that amber note that's in here. And then adding to that gorgeous sweet vanilla accord in this fragrance is the benzoin from Laos. You know, benzoin has this sort of sweet vanilla kind of caramelly effect about it. It's a resin note that smells like vanilla, caramelish, you know. So that really makes this even more delicious. So you get the tonka bean, you get the benzoin, and you get amber, which has ambery vanilla, you know, nuances. So it's just a match made in delicious heaven, you know. And then this has Cistus labdanum. You know, labdanum is this sort of resinous balsamic note, which adds this sort of like special touch to fragrance. It sometimes smells a little bit like leather, but then also has this very balsamic aspect to it. Oh yeah, so it's a beautiful composition that vanilla, heightened vanilla and amber in here really make it so delicious. It's a very deep amber vanilla fragrance that smells absolutely divine. Highly recommended. This is a fragrance that's best worn in colder months. Same with Oud Satin Mood, although Baccarat Rouge 540 and the Extrait de Parfum you can wear all year round, because they're strong enough to stand up to the winter cold weather. And you can also wear them in the dead of like summer even, because it also works in the summertime. It's not too strong, that doesn't knock you out. It works in the summer too. It's one of those crazy fragrances that, you know, both the Extrait and the original, they work all year round. This one is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Grand Soir. So the fifth fragrance in my Maison Francis Kurkdjian collection is a gorgeous vanilla dominant fragrance that can be worn pretty much all year round. It's none other than Maison Francis Kurkdjian Gentle Fluidity Gold. This scent, you guys, oh, it's such a beautiful vanilla. It's a must-have scent, a must-have vanilla fragrance, although I shouldn't just reduce it to a vanilla fragrance, because even though there's a lot of vanilla in this fragrance, this one is so much more complex than just a vanilla fragrance. It's, first of all, not your typical vanilla fragrance. Second of all, there are other olfactory notes that really contribute to the uniqueness that is this fragrance, you know. So you must never call this a vanilla fragrance, just simple as that. Because Maison Francis Kurkdjian apparently doesn't like the naturally sourced vanilla, because it sometimes apparently has like a little bit of like woody and animalic aspects to it. He created his own vanilla for this fragrance. So it's a little bit more gourmand kind of vanilla that he created for his fragrance as well, for this especially. It's his own creation. This has that juniper berry note that really kind of adds this special touch to this fragrance. Juniper berries are very kind of fresh, aromatic, almost conifer smelling type of resin type of fragrance note. That has a little bit of spiciness to it. So adding that to this fragrance really like cut the vanilla, you know, cut through the vanilla and added that interesting aspect to it. And this has a lot of amber woods. Amber woods include cashmere, ambroxan, you know, those type of ambery woods. So there are a couple of them in here. I'm not sure which ones, maybe all of them. There's obviously like a amberwood aspect to this fragrance, which again balances out that vanilla scent in here, makes it more interesting. So this also has some beautiful soft spicy notes like nutmeg and coriander. Coriander has this sort of green metallic kind of nuances to it, and then nutmeg, you know what that smells like, you know, it's like a very mild scent that nutmeg has. So those two add to that amberwood-ness of this fragrance, if you ask me. And the juniper berries also add that similar kind of interesting aspect to this fragrance. So it's not your typical vanilla. It smells very, very much like vanilla, but not like your typical overly sweet, in-your-face vanilla. It's a very sophisticated, gentle fluid. You know, it's a very gentle, soft vanilla fragrance with a lot more interesting aspects to it than just being a sweet vanilla fragrance. So because of all those other notes in the composition, that keeps it from being your typical in-your-face sweet gourmand vanilla, you know. So yeah, this one is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Gentle Fluidity Gold. So you guys, that is my beautiful, luxurious Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrance collection. I've been thinking about adding Eau de Rose, which is another Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrance. If any of you has that one, just let me know down in the comment section what that smells like, what it's like. I should go into my local Galleria, the high-end shopping mall complex, and I should get my nose on that one. I have not, I don't remember if I've smelled it. I don't remember what it smells like, but it intrigued me, the notes. I love a good rose fragrance, especially like a very feminine kind of light rose fragrance that's maybe perfect for spring and summer from what it sounds like. So that may be my next addition to the Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrance collection. So let me know down in the comment section what your thoughts are on these beautiful Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrances that I talked about in this video, and what you think about the other ones that I didn't talk about, including Eau de Rose. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up so I know you love my videos, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell for all notifications. You have to make sure you ring it for all notifications, otherwise YouTube will leave you out of some of my other videos. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I post pretty much everything. I will see you guys in my next video.